Right, so what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Everyone, every person, every people, every place, and everything. I want to give salutations at this time to every person, place, and thing in existence. All right? Namaste. Namaste. So, I'm coming here via YouTube to bring us, once again, some very important and vital information. And we titled this here's event or affair that we're going to have. You're going, or you're getting ready to blow up. Now, I know a lot of people, they look at the concept of blowing up, and it can be frightening. I realize that. I remember back in the 1900s, you couldn't make mention of anything of blowing, bomb, or anything that's causing an explosion or an expansion. We're not worrying about an implosion, but we can focus and look at the idea of explosion. You see? So we're getting ready to blow up. Me, you, even though that we're blown up already, and you feel as though that a decade ago that you blew up, well, it's not suffice. There's a continuation of supremacy. This is what infinite means. We're going to have continuous Big Bang theories or experiences. So, why are we going to blow up? That's a good question. I think it's relevant. I think it has importance. And the reason, first of all, I mean, we could be 12 months and explaining why I'm going to blow up and how. First of all, we already noted that you're an infinite cosmic being. Being means something that exists. BEING. Something that exists. And out of all things in existence, guess what? I'm supreme. This is why back in the day, people fell short to realize why Nate was always calling himself the supreme being. Because I simply looked the words up. And I noticed that supreme meant the highest, the elite of, as in the Supreme Court, which at the time I happened to be dealing with the judicial system. Okay. So it was no wonder that I wasn't going to come across the word supreme in my life and make it not only something that I had to look at, but it had to be incorporated in my character. This is what made me supernatural. So I figure, since God told Adam to bow down to me because I am of his greatest creation, I ran with the idea of me being supreme. I named the fish. I named everything in the ocean. I named everything in the heavens. And being means that which exists. So it's definitely, without a doubt, something that we have evidence, receipt of, that can be proven in court just by the statement alone, what we just said, that we're correct in our thinking. And you know how the saying goes, as one thinketh, so shall it be, in regards whether another individual can accept it or not. The Gregory told you best. Truth don't need to be validated. And I stand by that. I don't need nobody's ignorance to validate that what I bring to the table. It's not my fault you can't see yet. Keep coming back. Stick around. That's all I got to say. So one of the reasons why I got to blow up is because, for second of all, I don't want to be stagnated. I don't want to be like that of before. I can't keep serving the same type of situation and system that actually have been and still is doing me of no justice. And I'm not just talking about the justice system or the American system. I'm talking about every type of system that's known to man and mankind. Now, like I said, I can go on for a whole decade and explaining why I'm blowing up. And one of the ways of how we're going to blow up is by applying a few appropriate but very powerful and effective ingredients in our life. Or should we say properties or elements, if you will. Check. Oh yeah, you're gonna see after the day that we was right, Nick. We blowing up. I'm blowing up. Special made cup. Nate the Great. Okay. By my family members. Members, that is. No need to name. It's not important. They know who they are. The creator of this cup is the God. And you know who you are, so I ain't got to name nothing. And that motorcycle is on there is because this is one of the things I do as a hobby. All right. We race, we ride, we chill, we cruise, we go crazy on bikes. And don't ask me how long I've been riding either. I've been riding ever since I came to Earth. And so have you. You just forgot. Remember your mom brought you your first bicycle? See? You've been riding since what? You was 3 years old. You've been riding. We just get bigger bikes and better bikes. That's all. You happen to fall off of your bicycle with the training wheels and you stopped at that point. Me, I wiped that shit off and got back on it. And then took the training wheels off. And kept it moving. Professor X, welcome along. We want to welcome Professor X. Salutations. Love and light. Yep, on this beautiful Sunday. So I appreciate definitely the fireballs that I see in there. Okay. Because this is what we do on a Sunday. Especially if you are not in the making of the ceremonies that were supposed to take place on Sundays for so-called Black people. I'm not discriminating or putting nobody better than the other. I'm just saying. We're living in a day and time where I need to be, like I said, blowing up. Let's look at a few elements, as I've stated, of how we're going to blow up, shall we? So again, Professor S, welcome along. We appreciate you. You know, my channel is not a big thing right now, and I don't intend it to be. Only if we reflect on it so we know where it head, but it's not important right now. And so I moderated you up. You got the wrench, the first person that stepped up and said anything of any sort. So that's already one for the home team. So you're definitely part of the team. And in the event that we get outside energy that is not in accordance, right? And then you know what you got to do. So other than that, okay, feel free to drop information on my channel. Send me via email. My phone number 215-552-1410. I don't mind phone calls. Okay, I'm very well screened with it, so phone calls do not annoy me. Yeah, drop what you do too. You know, because when this is social media here, this is a stream throughout YouTube. So we got people who like to read the comment section more than, and this I see this in a lot of spacecrafts and so forth, and what they call it out there. They're enjoying a avenue just because it gives them the fruit that they need to carry on being a better individual, a more electrifying fire than the host, because they're reading in the chat. So again, power is channeled throughout all avenues and ways, and this is the beauty of our existence. We can always, by particularly number one, never shutting a mind, your eye, closed eye to information. Information is supposed to always be dissected, digested, and then manifested in which way it best suits me. Okay? Here's the words for the wise. I'm reading out a book. It's a yoga 365-day book. I like the idea of what it states here because it says that humor gives us every day we should look for joy, humor, peace, lofty, every day. Upon the time we rise up out that casket, and I'm talking about the bed, I call that a casket too. We want to begin the moment in which I shall place my state of existence while coming to the physical plane in a state of joy, laughter. I know there's not a lot of things going on in existence that's much to laugh about, but there's always something that we could find to even make us laugh about it, even if it's a YouTube channel. Put it on and start laughing. Download stuff that make you laugh. All right? Because humor gives us perspective on the world and on ourselves. You see? You'll be able to see what part of the world that you're playing in. Or am I getting caught up in the foolishness of gunplay and argument out here that may lead to the demise of one individual? Fights, propaganda, false information. The more we cultivate a sense of humor, the better equipped we are to tackle stressful situations. This is the key point why I'm pointing this out. Because even me face stressful situations. Me, I think more so than anybody. Because I'm always walking around talking about peace. And you know how the religious people go. Satan attack you more than he will attack an individual that's down to earth with Satan. And it makes sense. I mean, like, I'm probably bucking Satan's boat. And Satan might not get no sleep. Fucking with me. And I'm speaking theoretically. So the better equipped we are to tackle stressful situations, which I hate. And let me explain this. Everybody's stressful situations is different. What may make you stressful may not make the next person stressful, y'all. Oh, you better recognize that. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Somebody may have already overcome that, which you now starting to find stress in. They already bypassed the remedy. Got the remedy and bypassed that and moved on to something that's awaiting you in line. Because we're on Earth, we're in the meat suit, and that's the way it's going to be until you time to check out. Other than that, you might as well face it. You're not going to never, ever, ever, every day wake up and not be stressful. So like with me, dumb shit, just dumb talk alone can stress me out. Did you know that? This is why I tell you it varies in others. I'm the type of individual, I can't work in a corporate America. Are you kidding me? Something's going to happen, people. And they already know. Yeah. Let's say I'm an individual. But we're just going to hypothetically speak now. Coming from another country, perhaps may have been under duress, threat, and coercion and been released after 22 years of being guilty. I'm just saying, think about the scenario. They done got to the degree within themselves to the extent that nothing can be told to them by another individual. And that's okay. Some people might find fault in that. But can you expect him or her to get out here and work at McDonald's? Because the wrench condition in which you've seen them come up out of, because they didn't go to Temple, University of Penn, Harvard, Yale, or Princeton. So individuals like me, I got to stay secluded, away. I can't tolerate the dumb shit. That's my remedy. Stay away. Many studies have demonstrated how amusement and laughter are beneficial to our health and well-being. So I can't just make this up. There's been people who actually put their energies to looking into the idea of what I'm exemplifying here. Laughter can disperse tension. You see, we have to remember our body, while here on earth, is the original drugstore. Every drug that's in existence is in your body, people. All that germs and don't eat off the ground type stuff, that's just formality. That's just change of etiquettes. Okay, for certain beings and individuals. Okay, if you one of them beings where you vibrate at a low frequency and your immune system is very low, no, you can't eat out the trash can. Okay, so there's a laugh for you. All your pain and suffering should be getting easy by now. Humor can shift our heavier emotion states. Each day, like I said, seek out humor through your friends, the acquaintances. You see, remember I told you I stay in my man cave? Well, when I'm in this man cave, my TV is the world. And I laugh at it. I'm not laughing at you all people. I'm laughing at the situations that you have allowed yourselves to get caught up in. And I'm not talking probably to you people who's watching this. More than likely, if you're watching this type of information, you know better. It's much like a TV advertisement telling a person this is your brain on drugs with a frying pan and an egg, and telling them the reason why they shouldn't do the drug when a drug addict don't even own the TV. They sold it. So how are they ever going to get the message? So it's always for the people who it concerns. This is how your life is going to be. Information is meant to, like, and let me remind you, each and everything, information, material, your life has a symbiotic relationship. The same time you choose, that person, place, a thing. That's why you ever hear me open up any of my Facebook streams or YouTube video, I give you everything in existence salutations. The fly, this fly that's bugging me right now, respect. And look, it don't even really mess with me. It just lands on the top of the screen. It stay out my way. It don't come on a book. I've made peace with it because I have an energy grid. You thought I said, hold up, fly. You thought the fly speak English? And I said, can you stop messing with me for a minute while I'm streaming? No. I got to give a certain frequency off, a certain vibration. And this is the same way, and like a dog. People say a dog smell your fear. No. Again, misinformation. A dog cannot smell fear no more than you can. What does fear smell like? Anybody can tell me? What does love smell like? That's a good one. Automatically, what you thinking about? Roses or something, right? The dog senses your vibration, You're vibrating. Remember your energy, and we got enough material around that we should have already figured this much out. So bring a sense of humor to the events of your daily life, and you'll see how great things can become for us. You know what I'm talking about? Let's read a little something out of here. You see what I do? I buy these material. I call it thoughts. These are people words and ideas. And as a teacher like myself, their ideas help me bring out the greatness in me as being a teacher. And one of the things that I stand by, see, I'm not even with an organization. We ain't got a league. I don't got the head people. I self-learned master bringing my, as in Islam will say, dalil. I forgot what they will say in English, but I mean Arabic. In Arabic, you would say bring in your dalil, your evidence. Okay. In English, we would look at it as your manual, just like a car. When you buy a car, every car comes with a manual. When you buy your washing machine, didn't it come with a manual? Right? When you brought your first bicycle, huh? Your weed whacker, your lawnmower. Don't these things come with a manual? How about human body? What you want to say? All right, no, not there. All right, keep going. Washing machine, stove. Yeah, okay. Let me try. Body? No. Body don't come with manual. That's dumb. If everything comes, a table, how do you assemble your dresser? Oh, you looked at the what? How do you heal your body? You told me you don't have a manual. Now what do? Oh, you want to run out to somebody that's called a doctor. Huh? This is the way you want to do it? No, people. The body has a manual. The soul has a manual. The spirit has a manual. And I'm here to reveal it. And so I take this information and I upgraded people. We look at the very significance and beauty of, yes, what they have expressed, taking nothing away from these people. Who is this? Kim Frederickson, The Power of Positive Thought. Okay. The last one was what? I think I told you, I put it up again. This is yoga. Okay. You see the variety of ideas you can accumulate by either reading or listening to somebody who has read or been around the world dealing with other types of cultures and information. No matter how you get it, audio, visual, people different. Some people like to do both. Watch a video and read a book. And sit in dialogue with people. That's not hard. I mean, easy. That's more like a person like me. Because I'm an information, I got a fetish for information. That's what I thirst for. I get bored if I can't enhance and come up with new ideas about existence. Real talk. I'm tired of this. I told you, not to the extent of how y'all think tired either. I'm not gonna shoot myself or anything. But I like information. I like enlightenment. That's why you can never be bored. That don't sit well with me. I don't know what boredism is. All I could do is pick up a book. And look, first of all, make sure it's something that you can't comprehend. That way you're going to spend the first 12 or 30 days just comprehending what the hell they saying. And then you can spend the rest, maybe 3 years, building on it and enhancing and perhaps bringing whole total enlightenment in the next 10 years. Because this won't be applicable to the people that's 10 years from now. No more is the Bible applicable right now. Or a 1971 Ford Mustang that's for my 2022 Ford Mustang. Because 1971, the Boss. We didn't have ACs in there. So you could not have possibly got a manual in how to fix your 1970 Boss Mustang. When it comes to air conditioning, check. So we're going to keep it moving, move right along. Let's get into some reading real quick. This is protection against depression and anxiety. Now, one thing about me that I like to do, and I want to say this because I like for y'all, to incorporate this to people. Don't just bring the ugliness to life when we dialoguing with people. Okay. In other words, you always the one coming in talking about, oh, did you see the boy in the corner got hit by an airplane? I mean, like, I'm going to say it like that because you got to keep it. Words are so strong and people are so strong in their words and powerful that we got to be careful, especially grand wizards like me. So I have to do a little trickery. Okay. So, but you're going to get the point. All right. Yes. Words are power. In fact, open up the Bible in the book of John. It says, in the beginning was the word. I ain't making this up. When I read that, I said, oh my goodness. No wonder my girlfriend be upset at me. Because I had learned a very verbal, abusive pattern and culture from my parents. And I didn't know that you can actually hurt a woman's heart by the words more than you did if you hit her. Wow. So remember, our words vibrate. And if followed by intention, makes the manifestation. But we're not going to get into that. I ain't teaching black magic today. You're gonna figure that stuff out. Yo, hold on, let me see what Professor X saying. I see the screen. When I see that the chat move up and down, I see his things going on, Professor X. So that's what's up. Appreciate that. Okay, I see you. Right. All right. So yeah. We want to not just bring the ugliness to the paradigm. We want to bring the remedy too. So if I told you that there's a flood coming and everybody's house is going to be destroyed, that's the bad news, right? But don't leave them in that state of depression because they won't know what to do. Some people are going to talk about, well, I'm staying behind. I don't want to go out. No, bring the good news right behind it. If you have to be a bearer of bad news. Me, I'm not a bearer of bad news at all. Real talk. The good news is I built the art and we all going to get on it. And it's set so that soon as the water hit mid-level, the art is able to take us on to safe grounds. You see now, you've put the whole party in a state of assurance. Even though, what if you even fucking build the art, right? Say I'm lying. How about that part? At least something to happen. Everybody is what? Generating positive energy. And now the whole time, even they're generating so much energy, some people, they know you lied. So now, after they done calm down and start packing their bags up because you got a couple hours before the water comes, right? Instead of being frantic and don't know what to grab. No, you calm. Okay, I need my cell phone. I don't need the charger. There's no electricity, right? Because if some people, a flood coming, you're going to grab your charger. Wow. But that will give me time to be like, whoa, I got to fulfill this. And guess what? Like we said, with thought and the word, right? A sincere desire, which is what's going to generate the battery, will manifest and bring to fruition that of the thought. Just like that, in that order. I've seen it done. And depending on how well you are at your behavior and your practices and ways of existence, your so-called dreams and wants will manifest within matters and quickness of time. Some people go like this. Some people got to wait 30 days, 60 to 90 days. Because they're not yet in that vibratory state, whereas though you could say, as they say in Arabic, "Kun fayakun," being it is. Okay? And that's why a lot of people, they get discouraged. Don't get discouraged because you sit back and you contemplating on a thing and you look up and damn, this woman's still here. Be patient. You know, things will come into at its appropriate time when it's right for your wish. So, as they say, be careful what you wish for. Check. So let's look at we looked at the things that causes depression. Now we want to look at protection against depression and anxiety. And one of the most encouraging results of research on the benefits. That's what I like. I always like when I'm reading stuff and I'm doing my research, I like to hear other people that have done research. Yes. You see, your due diligent research, they call it. I've heard it said. Okay. And research, because it benefits yourself. Self-compassion shows that those who are more self-compassionate. Okay, so we can get an idea of what this is bringing. We want to back it up. Let's back it up because I done threw my thought in there real quick. We're talking about, again, protection against depression and anxiety. Notice we didn't say take a pill yet, brother Professor X. I'm well over half a century, and I don't take no medications except herbs. I done dealt with sciatic nerve pain, born with congenital scoliosis, nerve damages, many motorcycles, car wrecks. I was going to say plane wrecks, but that's why I don't get in the airplane, because it's too many wrecks already on other wheels. So, I need all them pills that them people be taking that make them go crazy and have to go to NA after doctor. I don't know the name of them pills. Fortunately, I didn't go that route. But I hear that I know people, car accidents, they got to take them pills and then they get addicted. And the only thing before that they was addicted to was maybe at the least most is caffeine. Now, their life, they become drug addicts off of pills. Professor X, I am a woman. Bah, bro. Okay. Oh, off of Sanchez. Check. Is that the my butter, Lady Shea Butter? You be on Sanchez podcast, right? Okay, hold on. Okay, I see what's going on. Okay, so we got Lady Shea Butter in the building. That's what's up. Or should I say on the web? She definitely ain't in the building. I would love to have y'all all in the building. And y'all know how we other podcrafts state about the building situation. I understand, but I like to be a little more politically correct about what we're doing and saying. And that's what makes my airway a little different. I ain't bucking nobody's ship or boat, nothing. That ain't never my intentions. I'm just here. I'm like Drop, Sanchez, Dane Calloway. We here just to help us think a little bit better. That's all. whether you want to do it for the love of the people or for some financial gain, and or both. It's totally up to you. So I want to give all respects and love to Lady Shea Butter. I know Dreamy Queen. Yep. And Professor X. So thanks. Oh, Lady Shea Butter got to mod you up. So y'all want to start something. And just because this is what you want to start, so show it's going to be. Check. And I'm sure, I don't know if I'm much older than y'all, but it's good to have the younger generations behind me, because I come after the further generations, people, and y'all can always at least have an avenue or way to know where you can find out what was real, the real deal, with no filtration. Check. Okay, so that's the wrong one. Right. So it's like all my elders. She's already modded up. Lady Shea, but I already modded you. Okay, I see it. Yeah, she got the wrench. How did you do that? You must have did that yourself. I don't remember doing it. But yeah, you know, we got to stay in tune with the elders. At least, we can find out what the real, not the ain't necessarily got to be the real deal, but what it was anyway, to the circumstances of the time in which I wasn't here. So, for instance, all my women is older than me. My queen that I have now, my son's mother, my mother had birthed me when she was 16. So I've always been around older people, because me and her, we grew up like brothers and sisters pretty much. People would think we were brothers and sisters. So I've always was able to be around all the, and then you got to recognize it's like threefold for me, because they was the same type people. They were gods, pimps, gangsters, and I'm talking about Philadelphia. You know, the real Beanie Siegel type situations out here. So this is what I come up under. Have been in the restaurant coercion with brother Nui Mims. Okay, so like yo, I like to have the younger generation, and that's why I follow the Sanchez. Well, I don't like to say follow. I don't use that terminology, but you know what I mean. We all in and lead and follow each other. But that's why we support Sanchez. We support him. That's what we do, people. So like mine's a track. Y'all know what it is. So let's get into this information so we can weigh in on this and see how it's going to take us to greater heights, because we still got a little bit left to cover. So we already stated that one of the most encouraging results of research on the benefits of self-compassion shows that those who are more self-compassionate also tend to have less anxiety and depression. And you see why, right? Because first of all, I'm not letting the things of the world weigh in heavy on my heart. This will be the whole idea of passing the test with the feather. You see? George Floyd gets shot down in the streets. No, I don't go out and tear and burn up the neighborhood and start killing everybody and start hating people. How is my heart going to pass the test weighing in heavy, lighter than a feather? I hope we didn't think that they was going to take the heart out the body and sit it on the damn scale, people. Check. So I have to let what goes on in the world go on. What goes on It's because it's supposed to go on, people. Just like my own life. I'm self-lord master. I'm in control of this. And the quicker and the better, the faster I find this out, guess what? The smoother my ship is sailed. And the faster I can get my shit together. When our shortcomings and mistakes are met with compassion and understanding, we will have more energy and space inside to forgive ourselves and find solutions. And this element here is going to help with the idea of y'all when it's time to go open up that closet and pull those skeletons out and clothe them. You got to do this, people. Listen. It's one thing to be intelligent, knowledgeable, have a great job, a great income. Look at Brother Polite. I didn't see where he came from 1 degree into where he is now. It's almost amazing. I come from the same school of thought when we was Ansars. But it showed me what the mind can achieve if you just merely trust in yourself. Know that your word, if they say your word is bond, then what do that mean? It's blocked, booked, locked, bonded. Nothing can't touch it. Your word ain't got nothing against mine, and mine ain't got nothing against yours. Look at the word bond. Look it up. Look at the several definitions of it. We ain't talking about something in which that holds currency. I ain't talking about that type of bond. When our shortcomings and mistakes are met with self-judgment and condemnation, we experience a lack of hope and begin to shut down emotionally, don't we? We may experience depression and anxiety as we try to either never make a mistake or anticipate every awful thing that may happen. How much more of this are we going to read? Two more paragraphs. One of the things inherent to depression and anxiety is the tendency to ruminate on depression and anxiousness. Thoughts. Ruminate. R-U-M-I-N-A-T. Let's look it up for the sake of being factual. All right? Everybody don't know what that means. R-U-M-I-N-A-T. I don't know what it means. I'm not going to say punk, thank you. I can figure it out because with my supreme intelligence by just reading it. You have to do that when you learn to speed read. But we don't want to go over words, right? As we did in high school and act like you knew what it meant when you don't even know what that means. Look at him. He's just in there look like you know what she's talking about. And y'all know y'all didn't know what the teachers talk about. Because if we did, we would be able to peep the hoodwink that we were being cloaked with. That's how I know y'all wasn't paying attention to them words. They made sure we wasn't paying attention. And if you was, you would, like me, you got reprimanded and sent to the principal office. Anytime you bucked the class. I went to only the 8th grades. I know how it was. I remember. R-U-M-I-N-A-T-E. Let me do it the slow way. Let me do it the dumb way. And it's supposed to be a smartphone. They were supposed to pick that up, right? Yeah, if I spell something, you're supposed to be able to match that. I know y'all probably already did it. I'm slow at that, at this, y'all. And that's why I'm definitely going to need Shea Butter, Professor Next around, so y'all can go ahead and throw this stuff for me in the chat. Because I don't have time to be messing with the technology and even reading. I stopped to read. Don't forget I'm nearsighted, so I got to put the glasses on to see close, far away. All right. So mainly, what I do when I come to the into further depiction or decide, and with the help of you all, I'm just gonna talk. I'm from the old school. We sit and talk like Bobby Hemmett, but relatable to everything in existence. See, I'm the third, actually. Nathaniel Hill's the third. So that means that's like the Nation of Islam. They had the nation, and then it was the resurrection. Okay, so that was supposed to be first the physical plane of implementing, and then came the understanding. Okay, in which what I will be knowledge, wisdom, and over or understanding, or as I say, over and understanding. So since I'm the third, then this my job is to bring the understanding amongst all philosophies, okay, into accord and meet at the round table. Somebody got to do it. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Lady Shea Butter, Dreamy Queen. Looks like check. That's right. Okay. So it's pronounced ruminate, and it means think deeply about something. See? Something real simple. So let's go back over this. One of the things inherent to depression and anxiety is the tendency to think deeply about something. On depression and anxiety thoughts, we don't do this because we want to think in unhealthy ways. Rather, we do this as a way to try to work things through and come to a better place, which obviously work. That's what I do now. I think about, and that's one of the things I hate about myself. I think about always the worst of what can happen. Okay. And at that, for the most, it has me in preparation for everything that could happen. And keep in mind, in most cases, something will happen. It has to. Whether you enjoyed it or you didn't, something happened. My job is to make sure I'm safely traveled through this plane and in control of the things that are happening, as opposed to letting someone else or something else be in control of all my affairs and events. So the problem is that if you only know to think about what you should have done, I don't know if that's a problem, but let's read on. Or what awful thing might happen. You end up thinking in a circular way with no resolution. Self compassion offers new, truthful information. All right? Self compassion offers new, truthful information. Look, here's the thing too, people, about this truthful. We're not talking about going and cutting on a YouTube video or going to a seminar or buying a DVD, what have you, on spiritual upliftment and thinking that I'm finding the truth. I used to be like that. That's how I got accumulated so many books, from Barnes and Nobles to Black and Nobles and every bookstore before those. You see, I was thinking that I could go and find my truth in the books and somebody else. And that's just the same way. It ain't got to be in books. Some people do it through walking around on the streets, calling people up on the phone. Oh, I feel like getting high. What should I do? Don't ask me. You can't ask me. I might give you the wrong plan. I might give you the plan to tell me, to tell you, to hear, this is what I do. I wait till I get my check every first of the month. And then pay my bills, buy my food, and then that's be that. And see, that type of situation may not be suitable for the next individual. Just because I ran out there and asked my so-called sponsor what I should do. Same thing with a pastor. Same thing with a preacher. You go to the pastor. Pastor, I'm cheating on my wife. Friday night, I took my whole check and spent it on a woman at the go-go bar. What should I do? You asking the pastor, and he's probably having sex with your wife already. Because she wasn't home either that night. That's how you was able to slip out. So we just in a repetitious bullshit cycle of wanting to find some truth. Truth is within me. If I like to cheat, I got to sit back in my man cave and decide, cut everything off around me. I don't care if tears start coming in my eyes and I look in the mirror and I say, Nate, you're going to continue cheating. What do you want to do, Nate? And you got to be comfortable with that when I walk out of this man cave, people. It's like the same thing with Batman. When you walk up out of yourself, there's nothing going to be able to hold you back. Once you have come to conclusion and decision of you're comfortable with whatever. Some people might not like it because you like to wear a woman belt. And you used to, and so I had to always put a shirt on that was too big because I didn't want people to laugh at my woman's belt. No. You can now wear a button-up shirt, tuck it in, and put your woman belt on. Hell yeah. That's what you like. That's what we do. We be in ourselves. We do ourselves. Stay true to ourselves. And in this way, this is how we're better to help the whole. Because the whole can't be complete if everybody isn't playing a part. If we was all the same, we wouldn't be here, people together. Because one of us wouldn't be needed. I don't need a bunch of you people like me walking around. I need some beautiful Professor X's and Shea Butters. What do you want me to do? Turn the YouTube on all day, every day, and just look at me? Somebody talking like me? Somebody dressing like me? Then when we do this, we want to find fault in this. But they forget, if that dude didn't wear that dress and put them high heel boots on, you wouldn't have nothing to post on your Facebook video, because you ain't gonna post you dressed up in a pair of women's whatever. So now you got something to laugh at. And isn't laughter a part of healing? Oh my goodness, man. This is real simple mathematics that I'm bringing people. And I'm not pointing at nobody and saying people is wrong. I just get a little, because I see things and it's going to be that way. You're going to see what I'm talking about. And that's when you say, calm down, humble down. Like, this give me a chance to practice, other elements in my life that's going on at the same time as I'm teaching. Because always remember, when you teach, if you are a teacher and you like to teach, make sure that you are a good student, and that at the same time we teaching, I'm looking for something to learn. I don't care even if it's in what I'm talking about. Be conscious. Make sure. Look for improvement and upgrading. We don't, like I said, need to be regurgitating the same bureaucracy
of that of old. That's not going to make you elite. That's not going to make you supreme. China don't look at it like that. I mean, well, China looks at it like that. Japan looks at it like that. This is why those or these are excelling nations, because they don't even want to stay stagnated just even from yesterday. Have it there where they'll create you a new Xbox every week. Real talk. But I ain't got time to figure out all the configurations on this one first. So they give me a little time. It's so much I can do. Damn. Before I know it, here come the next Xbox. I be mad as shit. Yo. Y'all just made this one. Especially the cell phones and computers, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So nothing likes complacency. We got to get greater within ourselves with the expression of who and what you are, because these are the days and times. And a lot of people not going to like it, but guess what? They're going to have to deal with it or get sick and check out. And I don't like to be too on a low vibrational note, but that's actually what took place during our times through 2019 and what was it, maybe 21, under that event we went through. What was it called? No, not scam-demic. Some people think it was a scam-demic. I'm not going to say they wrong. There were some companies, corporations that benefited, of course. Shit. I seen somebody get masks and stand on the corner and sell masks. And now they got a nice little home just from selling masks. So Lady Shay says, always upgrade with tech. So we gotta match it with our mind. Facts, intelligence, upgrade. Very, very good point. Because if I can weigh in on that, like if we notice Africa don't have a technology. They're using their intel, as Sister Lady Shay states. Okay? Technologies come from Japan, Kawasaki, the Chinese, the Europeans. You can find technology in Africa. They use the essence, and this is where science comes from. Science is that of your essence, just like everything else in the physical realm. Yes, the Bible and the Quran, those are manuals. Metaphysical, allegorical, numerological, sacred geometry, cosmology, and all those other good G's. It's talking about me and you. As above, so below, right? The macro and the micro. We can't have one without the other. Do not be a being existing without knowing which realm you're supposed to be dominant in. Okay? Because we know if you can control the spiritual realm, you ain't got to worry about the physical. Check? Because you're already going to be able to see the things manifest before they even come into fruition. I think they call that what? Clairvoyance? They got names for this, y'all. I'm not right. We ain't making this up. It's in the. I think the Europeans got a book called a dictionary, and it says that it has words in it such as mental telepathy, clairvoyance, psychometry, intuition. And I was always intrigued with them words when I studied the dictionary. Yeah, I studied the dictionary. Malcolm X did it. That's where I got it from. I knew Malcolm X studied it, so I figure there would be some benefit because I seen how eloquently he was able to talk and attract people, and I understood the power of energy at an early age also. So I was like, wow, yo, I got to get my rap game right. You know what I mean? That's why you watch the movie, they show you how his different state came from. He was of his debate state. He had a thorough rap game. Remember, wasn't he a pimp, a gangster, a hustler, and all that old good or whatever stuff. And then he became that of advocate of goodness or rightness or what people may call for God. So we had to study the dictionary, and I was always intrigued with those words, but we never used them. Nor did I see the implementation of what the meaning was in my world of what I was reading of the meaning. So those words did not have much significance in it way, very light with us. It's almost like, let's go on. So we're gonna close this up. So once we, I don't like to always say you, it's us. Once you, we, me too, you see, begin living in the world not simply as powerless individual, but as self, right? I'm gonna read what's here. But for the elite, y'all know that it should have not been expressed this way. Let's put it like that. But keep in mind, everybody is in different degrees, so we need teachers at those that can reach us on those levels. So this may be a very good book for somebody. That may be a very good piece of information to take them along a way in their journey. Me, I grabbed it because I was collecting my material for what I do in existence, and I seen the title and it struck me. I didn't really look at it, none. It only cost $30. So I grabbed it. Claim your inner joy and freedom with the empowering wisdom. I said, wow, that's what I do. I said, that's what I teach. That's what I advocate. That's what I emanate. Let me grab that. See what she's talking about. As you see, a beautiful woman. So you know I had to grab that alone. I don't talk about it. Just having my archive. So let's dig into some of this idea of hers, shall we? She says, so you will live in the same body. Okay, so once you begin living in the world, not simply as a powerless individual, but as self, you will live in the same body and with the same relationship, but no longer operate in the world from the same mind with its attachments and numbing obligations to social roles. You may look the same outside, but you will experience a wholly different, boundless presence inside the same body. So when you begin to make choices from your inner freedom, you will no longer search the world. Remember, I was talking about that? Running outside, looking for the answers here. That's how I used to be like that, man. That's how I used to be. I was in every religion. You see? Because black people is the only people that's looking for themselves outside of themselves. Well, I ain't gonna say, well, yes, I said black people, but when I say black people, I'm talking about particularly those who are descendants of and here on the American shores. That's the people I'm talking about. I don't know what name you want to call them. Me. Us. And really, I don't think we no more do the people care two rats ass what you call us. We'd have been called everything under the sun. Discriminated against, taken over, mistreated. I don't mean to get vulgar, I'm not going to, but you can imagine what happened to me. Castrated, hung, put on 2 horses, tied by my arms, and made to go separate ways. I don't care what you call me. Only thing that me and us beings that I'm raised, that I'm enlightening, helping them out to wake up to, care about, is the joy and the power that we once had. We are so perfect and divine within ourselves, we not even gonna pay nobody back for the abuse and horrific events that took place amongst the greater beings that was here and those hereafter, and still unto today. It's okay. We made it that way anyway. You see how perfect you're supposed to understand the game, people? So if I got shot tomorrow, that's because it was something that I warrant from some type of incarnation, perhaps even this one, whether it was through direct taking of a life of my own or spirit cooking. I got my rewards, and the rewards don't come with a goddamn manual as to what degree you will get a reward in, like you do if you play Monopoly or something, and or you keep going and buying something and you get your points. No, rewards is that unto that which I done, it will be the same thing I get back. A lot of people think because I say you get a reward, it's going to be good. So-called good. No. If I slap, I ain't even going to say that. But how about this? If I stuck a metal pole in an electric socket, I will be rewarded. Now, is that good or bad? Consequences, repercussions for all our actions. So when we begin to make choices from our inner freedom, we will no longer search the world and your relationships for crumbs of happiness, because that's just what it is. There's people who is aching and waking for you to call them and ask them a question, ask how they can lead your life. They just like me, I get upset because I can't get no information that will enhance my intelligence, spark my yang. That's their fancy. It's like just like the miserable people. They said miserable love company, right? Well, there's people who like to control people. So oftentimes, when we run outside ourselves looking for the answers that we seek, we're going to get misinformed. Because Earth, the world, is not a place for you to be sovereign and have your supremacy and your dominancy. No. Somebody always wants to lead us. Somebody always wants to dictate. Whether if you from siblings, there's always been somebody who's the boss. If you was in a gang, there's always somebody want to be a leader. If you went to college and you joined a fraternity, and on and on and on and on, you become a police officer. You got to go through what? If you got an issue, the military, right? The chain of command. So it didn't take me much to realize I see what the world was about, especially when you told me the trick question. First, you told me that the world didn't evolve around me, and then had the nerve to ask me, what did I want to be when I grow up? Ain't that something? You can't talk like that to all these kids. You lucky I ain't go home and tell my mother. Talking about what you want to be when you grow up. I started to... No, I ain't going to say that. Let's get busy with this information. It's none of your business. Number one, tell your kids, if your teacher ever asks you what you want to be to grow up, no, don't tell them that, because that shit got me sent to the principal office. And then you got to take off from work because they're going to call you and you're going to go up there. And I'm not going to say what's going to happen to your child, what happened to me. I got my ass whipped in front of everybody, principal and everybody. But I know you're going to handle it different. Just know that you got a starlight child. They're not suitable for that school. And you tell the teacher and the principal, pull them together, okay, since y'all all want to come against my child. And say, yo, I'm going to take him out of this school and put him in a more intelligent state of existence. Because y'all it seems to me that y'all can't deal with this little mind. Don't beat them. And I'm not mad at my people for doing that either. I'm mad at the situation because they didn't understand. They didn't know I was dealing with some dummies out here who was hoodwinking me and tricking me. You see, because I come from a people who is part of the system. So, that's another story. But you got these beings that's coming through today. You can't send them to these schools, people. You're not going to be able to do that. Real talk. Especially all these, no disrespect either. I'm just going to say so-called conscious community, And that's why I deal with it. I mess with the conscious community if I'm going to mess with any community. All other communities depress me. And I don't act well under depression and anxiety. It increases my intake of marijuana. And that's not all good for my lungs. So, again, when we begin to make choices from our inner freedom, you will no longer search for the world for your answers and your happiness. Something deeply powerful, abidingly abundant, forever, free and expansive inside you will begin to bless you from within. Oh, I gotta read that again and again and again and again. We gotta give her some positive energies. Let's say the name. Acharya Shunya. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Let me see. I'm gonna post it so y'all can see it and say it, and that way we can invoke that energy that much stronger. You know what I'm talking about? But you know how it is. If you vibrate strong enough, we can feel each other, right? Okay? This is what they mean when they say minds attract. What is mind? Energy. And depending on your frequency, the expansion of your frequency or what you're vibrating, you can be felt. You can even tap into the web, the initial web. See, this web here, the internet, is the below. This the micro. It's the, let me think now, because I'm getting real deep with this and I want to stay with this. The internet is the secondary of the, what would it be? Secondary initial internet. Or the first one, which is the etheric realm, the energy grid, the earth electromagnetic field, the sea of electricity. This is why people like Panic and them say they like to tap into the Akashic records. You're going to be able to do this stuff, y'all. Real easy and smooth with great at ease and consciousness. I'm still growing. Trust me. But man, this is what makes me. You don't have to text me. Text me right now. Please. Text right now. Let's text so I can. Right? So it says something deeply powerful, abidingly abundant. Those are the two words right there that made me want to read this again. Forever free. Maybe that may have been the next two words that really shook me up because it's free, y'all. Forever. And expansive inside of you will begin to bless you from within. Let me share something. Let me share this because I want my viewers right here who's watching, and I'm going to trust that you are Professor X and Lady Shea Butter. And you may know this already, but I'm going to state this. Cut the music off. I know what we're talking about is actual, and I noticed I said we are talking about it. It's actual and factual. And we're talking about particularly about something that's inside of me that has been inactive, laying dormant, and in certain astrological situations and positioning light will start to activate because blood is liquid crystal light. So I know for certain that this is very well possible because we would have not had the scamdemic that we have faced. Think about it. I could be wrong, and I pretty much hope I'm wrong. But the whole situation of what we went through from 2019 to 21 was nothing other than anything. If I was a detective and I was doing an investigation, out. And then Mr. Fauci gonna have the nerve to make a video, and I can pull it up and you look on my Facebook page, it's on there, and unless they took it down, that what he did was draconian. Hold on for a minute. This is business right here. We got to see him. He has other work for us. This is my business partner, and we discussing construction. Okay, I own my own construction company. So, where were we? Yeah. I've seen reports, and I done been in touch with many doctors doctors who have lost their jobs, Dr. Sebi down to Professor X, you name it. These people then presented alarming evidence. Dane Calloway of what this thing was even being injected in people, which isn't conducive to what we are talking about. And that's all I want to say. Okay. We don't want to step on nobody's shoes. We know the deal. And you must let them know you know the deal so that when they see you, when your name appear, you got the respect. That's how it got to go. You're not going to come to my door and make me do nothing, put on nothing. Just going to be big problems in the courtroom. That's right. Make sure y'all say in the courtroom. I don't care if you got a military. You don't tell your adversary. I don't care if you got arms. That's like what that of Omar Gaddafi. You don't tell your adversary. And besides, we don't want physical war. We dominate, what did I say? In the spiritual realm. So that in the physical realm, I ain't got to worry about you, man. This is the whole concept of walking through the fire and not getting burned. Or one of them characters of the Bible was in the lion's den. And ain't one of them lions was hungry enough to eat his ass. So that meant I don't care how hungry that lion was, he still came out. That's got to be a bad man or woman. Then everything, even a tired old life circumstances, will take a new splendor as an opportunity to express your sovereignty. Wow. They need to talk like this in every self-help group, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcohol Anonymous, in the White House, in the police department. Why can't we implement what is it? What would it be? Not an office, a procedure or something, like a part of training where we tell the officers how to deal with society with the idea and hoping of what we have just read here. Why don't we know why? There's an answer. I just want to throw it out there. Just so that it can actually be something that to be contemplated on, and people might want to switch up and change, because so many people today is asking why this and why that. You know, they can't understand why the children are shooting each other, why the high schools is having shootings, and there's answers for this. There's answers for everything. So in closing, and I do think that this will suffice in the material that I wanted to share with us throughout this segment, it's going to be in the light of the self awaits your discovery. Because as you see, no longer are we running around anywhere looking for information about how do I become successful in myself and in my, if you want, your physical world too, but make sure the spiritual world is first intact. And pretty much I say that because once the spiritual world intact, the physical world will pretty much unfold. You'll just be an individual hair waiting for the unfoldment. Like if you ever seen the movie Professor the X-Men, Professor X, when he went in his dome, the floor had to unfold at each movement that he made. Well, I find that to be insignificance of that of my life. I'm here waiting for the next chapter to unfold so I could partake in it and play it well. But I can't let TV, social media, and all these things outside of me deter me from what my primary purpose is. And again, as I was saying, I don't think I finished on it. I did too, of the micro and the macro of hey, oh man, I had jumped around. I forgot to make mention of something. I'm sorry. The self of the individual is identical to the self of the universe. All right. So that means the discovery is within. That means that no, I'm not here on a charted mission by no creator. And depending on my behavior and how fair I did while here on earth will determine where I will spend my life for eternity. That's just not so. Please do not subscribe to anything of such like matter. Because just like in court, if you don't plead guilty, at least when it comes time, you can throw in your appeal. You see? Because you didn't ask to do this. I don't remember this shit. I didn't. Oh, everybody pump your brakes. You mean to tell me I would have never came down here? You see how hard it is? I was smoking weed at 7. I didn't have a chance. You were set from the door. If you're looking at it in that light, you see? That which is boundless is who you are, self. The human mind is not an ordinary intelligence. You are not equipped with the mind merely to help you survive as an evolved animal. And I'm reading out of the book titled Sovereign Self. And okay, it says that as evolutionary biologics would have you to believe, right? Ain't that what Darwin think or say? Some people, and I've read it before. I'm not making this up. I think the Nation of Islam say that the at best the so-called Europeans has evolved up out of the monkeys, so something to that extent. The Quran talks about the cave. Inside was all these beings, and then all of a sudden it was a dog inside. So, like, these are all the theories of which, and don't get me wrong, I'm the type of intelligence, I'm not going to say that's not possible. Even if it don't even continue no more until this day. Some people say, well, why how come they still not evolving from the monkeys? Don't ask me. I'm not a scientist. I didn't concoct the shit. But there's some reason why these niggas look alike, smell alike, and everything else alike. DNA and everything, RV genes and all this old crazy shit. So somebody got explaining to do. I'm just not going to be figuring that dumb shit out. I'm more concentrating and focused on how supreme I am at no matter what I am and evolved into. Shit. You talking about evolution. You just wait till you see what I evolve into 500 years from now. Now what story they going to have to tell? You see? So everything has relevancy to it, people. My job is to figure it out. Right. Put it in its proper perspective. Mind is an extraordinary awareness, intelligence, a reflector of divine powers of your soul. Behind the ordinary mind is the real power. A universally pervading intelligence, a transcendental, divine, all-knowing existence that we're going to recognize and call the self. Now, I know your mother, your grandmother and them is going to get upset at us because we talking like that. But they're going to have to forgive us because they have told us, as a man or woman thinketh, so shall it be. And you told me, grandma and mom, that you want me to be better than you. Then you're going to have to allow me to think better than you, mom. Don't run from me, mom. Don't get upset at your parents. Don't throw them out. Don't throw them under the train, your family, because they don't see like you. It's not their turn. So with this self, and yes, with a capital S, with this God, yes, my 5% of brothers with a capital. No, who said that? My Muslim brothers used to tell me that. I used to point out the scriptures in their books and tell them that we gods, and they say, that's what they agree with me to a small portion of the way until they say, oh, well, wait a minute, Nate. Wait a minute. That's a small G. Got you. And it was a good one. I used to be like, God damn. Well, y'all just gonna be really rebellious, ain't y'all? You're gonna keep finding ways to shoot down my message to y'all. Because you let these people in them school buildings tell you that Christopher Columbus discovered America. What makes them more credential than what I'm telling you? And we live in the same hood. You asked my mom for sugar yesterday. We gave you bread, nigga. You on now? I'm giving you food for thought, and you want to shit on it? I see the chat moving. Let's see what we working with. Lady Shea Butter. You know, that's how it is in it. You know, when we deal with each other. I'm not saying you and I, but you all know what I'm talking about. And you and I are present ourselves to shake these beings up out of that wrench condition that they sing about in church that they're in, right? Me and you around Shea Butter and Professor X for the simple fact we want our people stop going to church. I don't care if it's T.D. Jake, Rick Warren, Joyce Myers, or Al-Anon. Y'all gonna have to change the tone of the song "We Shall Overcome" to "We Have Overcome." We got people out here who is living divine lives. All praises due to you, me, and many other beings like us. So there's no need for me to walk around here talking about "We shall overcome." No. I want you to write the new tune. Who's the new artist now? We have overcome. And we want to bring a 432 megahertz beat with it. Okay? A tune. Don't bring no 808. And that's what they'll do. They'll change. See, they'll be smart. And watch what's going to happen, y'all. They say, because they watching too. They watch you like you watch them. Elijah Muhammad told you that. Watch your adversary as well as they be watching you. Check. So now that they're going to change this, they're going to say, we have overcome. Okay, I see y'all overcome. You got a black president. Yeah, you right. Nate right. Look, once they going to call Kanye West or what's his name? The letter God, Jehovah. The God, Jehovah. 44 boy. Jay-Z. Thank you. I'm not too in the earth like this, people. I do apologize. But I know about everything going on. So I hear Jay-Z, and them is 808 in it. So they're getting, yo, we want you to make a song. Beyonce, she was in the church before, wasn't she? Well, yeah. I want y'all to go back to church now. Cut your hair, and I want y'all in church. Jay-Z gonna say, for what? I'm a millionaire now. I'm part of it. You know what I'm talking about? Why I can't go back to church. Jay-Z, there's money in this for you. And that's what they do. And next thing you know, you're going to get a new hymn book on sale. Barnes and Noble. New song. We had the niggas have overcome. We have overcome. But then they going to 808 us though. Check it out. This how it go. I ain't lying. Because if they know it's the frequency, even though it's the words but it's not going to match the frequency. So only on Sundays will you feel that you have overcame, because you're sitting in church and you were amongst like mine. But once we leave that church, that frequency, and that's what's important. And this is why back to the slaps. I ain't going to get into that 808 shit. I wasn't going to do that, but we ain't going to bring that negative energy here, nor vibration. But that's why I said, back to them slaps. They knew this, what I'm talking about. Of course they did. You know they did. We're not going to pump fake that. And so, on that note, keep things at bay, and so that you don't become like the military, all you can be, unless you are up under their supremacy and rulership. Okay, see, you could become all you could be, but it got to be for them. Entertainment, military, or teaching. Okay. You don't go to school to be all you could be, to become self-independent and sovereign. I see these beings going to school so that they can implement a certain order, system, perpetuating and instituting bureaucracies. Oh, that's what it is. I ain't lying. Behind the ordinary mind is the real power, is stated. A universally pervading intelligence, a transcendental, divine, all-knowing existence, which is you, the self, with a capital S. Self is akin to spirit in the trial of body, mind, and spirit. She may have meant to put soul. There may be a misprint, but it should be soul and soul. But she has spirit here. But either way, those are all words to me, your technology. All this shit is the same. Like I said, you can call me what you want. I'm just all that I am. I'm nothing but a mere total of all the experiences that I can remember. But you come to the planet Earth, they want you to be black. They want you to be Puerto Rican. Some of us don't even like being black. So we wish we was Puerto Rican. So they start dressing and putting on fake eyelashes and long hair. Like we start speaking like, oh, you speak Spanish? Oh, I speak a little bit. You know what I mean? All that old dumb shit. I'm caught up. And I'll never pass the test of my heart weighing in lighter than the feather. If I let the world get me caught up. Just like the metaverse. They want to get these people, as Sanchez speaks of. And y'all know what I'm talking about, Lady Shea Butter. think that's if that's your channel that you met you at, and maybe a couple of other channels. I don't know. Maybe Killer Priest. I'm not sure, but they make mention of uploading souls. Just like now, go to your computer. I can upload a video, but guess what? Your soul can be uploaded. And Ben was being uploaded. How you think you came to the third dimension? Time is moving on. Remember, our existence is infinite. And so all we're doing, just like the supermarket in the aisle of the candy aisle, is all the same thing. It's just on different names and views. And so with your existence, man is only, and woman is only discovering new ways and ideas of how we can eternally, infinitely dwell and exist, having experiences in many forms and ways. That's what's really going on. But if you was brought up under the doctrine of, being a Christian, a devout Muslim, a sacred Jewish person, a devoted Catholic, then it's pretty much hard for these people to see like this. And I was brought up like that, don't get me wrong. But I was very insubordinate, very disagreeable. So it may have been a mistake. And like my mother said when she was whipping my ass for getting kicked out of Catholic school, this happened when I was 4 or 5. It had been a mistake because you wasted your money sending me there. Well, it didn't really matter anyway because I had to go to a public school, and that was worse. I can't even remember a grade where I attended classes or an entire class. Because when I got to school back in my day, you can hooky. They say, yeah, come on, man. You ain't got to go to school. Just go sign in and we leave back out. Damn, this may have been a good thing after all. My mom whipping my ass and taking me out of that school. Because when I was in Catholic school, they had to walk in order, in line. Everything you did, your mom knew. You couldn't do nothing in there. Like, that shit was crazy. And I don't recommend that. No. Unless you are up the Catholic order, that culture, those beings. Send your child to a Catholic school. That's not the place for them. And for the sake of conversating, I'm going to say black people. Okay? We got to talk. And so for the sake of conversating, let's use some words. Whether it's melanin. Yes. No melanin. Especially if you the melanin of this head. Oh, let me tell you what I found. You send a child to a Catholic school, the color of this hat right here. Wait till you find it. You're gonna, now that I'm mentioning, it's gonna attract you, and you're gonna be able to validate this information I'm saying. These are some of the worst beings that's walking around on the plane of existence. All you gotta do is look over in Africa right now. They're worshiping Jesus, the white man on the cross, and they like this hat. So I'm not going to get off of the idea of what we at and why we came to empower and blow up. Because the title, don't forget, the title of this stream is You're Getting Ready to Blow Up. And guess what? We over an hour into this. We done blew too much up already. I can see it in the chat. Y'all dropping fireballs and bombs and everything. Those are actually, we might hear it on the news tonight. There's asteroids that's coming our way to Earth tonight. Just because of what y'all are doing. Everything vibrates. By you. This here in the chat, what I call is symbols and sigils. And symbols and sigils vibrate. Not only do they vibrate, they got to come from a thought. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm holding a hardback copy of the Kabbalion, where I decipher this symbol, whereas I could write a book that will be as thick as this alone, on whether our earth is round, flat, or in a triangle. But my friends, I don't get into that. I don't debate. I don't argue with y'all. If y'all don't like what I'm saying, all I ask is that you give yourself a chance to see if I'm bringing anything that can empower you. I don't tell you keep scrolling, run away, put your hands up, go get your gun. No. Just keep coming back and see if you can find anything that will empower you. See, because here's the thing. If I know that you're doing that, guess where that sets me at? As an individual's got to be fulfilling by their word and start bringing something to the table that's going to empower them people, because I know you're looking for it. So, again, positive vibes and energies out there. The Lady Shea Butter, Dreamy Queen, Professor X. All right, and we're going to wrap this up. We're going to get up out of here. Where we at with it? 2:33. Wow. And y'all been around that long? That's what's up. There's definitely going to be some hot days coming up, because y'all on fire. You can't have an explosion and then it won't be no fire after that. You know? So, in closing, we're going to go continue on with the idea about self being akin to spirit. Okay? It is the divine power that illuminates everything and everyone, but it's itself invisible. In the poetic writings of some time ago, we find a dialogue between a sage and his disciple son on who we truly are. Let me read this to us, and we're going to get up out of here. The father beckons the son. Quote, bring me a fruit of that banyan tree. End quote. Here you go, father. Break it. Okay, I have broken it, father. What do you see there? Asked the father. The son replies, I see tiny seeds, father. The father says, break one of those seeds open. Okay, says the son. I have broken the seed, father. What's your point? What we getting at here? The father says, well, what do you see? He says, I see nothing, father. So the father says, from that nothingness, my dear, grows this whole banyan tree. Believe me, my dear son, all that exists comes from the self, which is invisible, appears as no thing, nothing, no thing. That is the real. That is the self. You are that, dear one. The father continued. You see nothing in the seed, but everything resides in that seed. This big banyan tree cannot emerge from nothingness. Only you cannot see that subtle of the subtlest of subtle somethingness. Life enabling in itself. It is self that resides inside the seed. from which has sprung forth this enormous tree. This beautiful person that you are. There ain't no mistake about you. There is no mishap. You ain't here by mistake, coincidence, or accident. Didn't nobody send you here, and you can't prove to me about that. I done asked many kids. I done check. I'm waiting for the next pregnant woman so I can get next to her. And as soon as her baby born, I'm gonna ask her, who sent you? That nigga look at me like, yeah, start crying. If somebody sent you here to be good and it's going to determine where your life is going to end from this point on, then you got to remember he's supposed to be like, oh yeah, come here, let me pull you to the side. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all that old Arabic stuff that the people want to speak over here in America because they don't like English. No, you just jumping out of one hot pan into the next. Stop that. Speak English. No matter how cursive it is, you can control it then. You can control your sigils if you can master the curses. You might as well come on and become an occultist, a witch doctor or something. Only you cannot see the subtle of the subtleness in something. So it is the self that resides inside the seed from which has sprung forth this enormous person that you are. She has tree here. But we're reading in the story. Let's continue. Let us finish up. We're going to finish up and get up out of here. That invisible power pervades everywhere and everything. And the more you are in tune with that, the more powerful you become and respected and served even. Yes. You ever pull up to a goddamn gas pump and somebody come over and say, can I pump their gas for you? he laughed. Talk about, man, that's a nigga trying to make some money. I don't care. You serving me. You ever got hungry and didn't feel like cooking and didn't have nothing in the refrigerator? But you can always go around to the corner and find them Koreans there and get some broccoli and rice, 3 wings, shrimp fried rice, and some pink lemonade. They serving you. You ever go to a bodega store? Because you didn't want to go to the supermarket? I know the price is a little higher. But that's what it takes for them to come and serve you like they're doing for you. You got enough money to pay for it. If you didn't, they wouldn't be in your neighborhood. Oh, y'all letting these people trick y'all. They got these people thinking that's a bad thing. Why you ain't got no business. Well, I ask them all the time, how long do you want me to have a business? I'm tired of businesses. You niggas don't even know how to handle business. That's why we don't come together with no business. We done had Kentucky. We done had Wall Street. We done had 9th Street in Philadelphia, South Street. We done New York. We done had hospitals and all that already. We own lands. We done govern some of the largest acres of old lands on the planet. And you still want me to have businesses? No, my nigga. It's time for you Mexicans to come on over here and you Ukrainians and who else is coming over? They didn't let the Haitians over because they knew they wasn't opening up no businesses. Y'all know that, right? They was on the tip like us. They want welfare and lay the fuck back. That's the freedom and opportunity that they see. Trust me. Shout out to our Haitians. Look, them the only ones they even couldn't revolt over. So I know I'm right. Wasn't no Haitian. You know I'm right? Find me a Haitian store right now. You may find me one. And it's food. They got some good vegetarian food. I know one. I appreciate them. I'm a god. I don't feel like cooking. I'm not a cook. And so I need people to serve me. I feel it liberal to be in America and have people wanting to come over here so they can set up shop, y'all. So I can just go and pick and choose. Take my girlfriends and take them to the mall and tell them grab anything you want. They say, oh, did you make this? Hell no. I've had somebody crank that shit for like 2 cents. I look like putting all my energy into making clothes and shoes. They want to trick y'all. Don't let them trick you, yo. Don't let them trick you. It's a freedom not to be. Go in a Chinese store today. You look at their face. Do you think they like serving me? I look at them and I be feeling like, I'm sorry. I be leaving tips now. I'm probably the only black person that leave a tip at the bodega or Chinese store. And they ain't even got a tip cut. But because of the fucking strenuous and the harassment and the way of life that they facing over here with my people, because they come in the store, tell them, throw the money at them, give me a Lucy, nigga. I say, damn, y'all just don't give a fuck. The young boys, they look at me like, what's up, old head? Yo, Ma, get over here. Give me where my chicken wings at? I be like, whoa, this is crazy, yo. This shit is really, y'all is really thorough and kings out here, huh? Don't fuck with these people today, y'all, these black Americans. They ain't coming through the same. They know who they are. They ain't coming back looking for a job at Walmart. There's no... Let's close out, y'all, on the self-note. So, back to the story. The pop and the son looking at this seed, right? And the pop was describing how everything comes from nothing. So from nothingness, my dears, grows this whole banyan tree. Believe me, my dear, all that exists from the self, which is invisible, appears as no thing. That is the real. That is the self. You are that. The Father continued. You see, nothing in the seed, but everything resides in that seed. This big banyan tree cannot emerge from nothingness. Only you can see that subtleness of subtle somethingness. Life enabling self. Life enabling self. Life enabling self. Ain't no child told me that God sent them and created them and came here. That's not going to get by in the courtroom. So don't you weigh in on that shit. Somebody sent you here and you here to have experiences and determine whether you learn a lesson or not. Well, I come back and I got to learn the lesson again. Those are people who is like us, wanting to figure this shit out. There's no lesson. What do you mean? Because I like sex. Let's say I have sex all the day. I got a problem with it. I'm a homorphic. What do you call it? Hermaphrodite. They like to have sex all day. I take off from work. If you call me, I want to come take off from work and go have sex, right? So that's supposed to be a bad thing. Are you telling me that because I didn't learn the lesson of not to have sex, I got to come back and have sex again? Then we well on our way. You need to move and go stand in the corner. I'm busy right now. I got work to do. And by the way, you can always call me. Check. So don't worry about you here to have experiences on earth. And just like school, once you graduate, you can't come back to this paradigm no more. You got to move on. Oh, yes, you do. Remember when you was in school? How first and second grade was so easy? and you told the teacher, I don't want to leave you. I want to stay here. Can I get left back again? I want to be here again with you, Miss Foster. What Miss Foster say? No, no, my lad. I have to push you along. You have to move on now. It's time for you to go and see and experience brighter things in life. Well, just like the macro or the micro, the same thing in the macro. As above, so below. You can't have one without the other. Everything we do on Earth, I can tell you exactly how we play it out in the etheric realm because it's a replica. So if you go to school here in a building physically, then you must be going to school spiritually. And you must vibrate on a higher frequency in order to make it into a different paradigm or state of existence. If you're not, then you can't, like they said in the Will Smith movie. What was that? Men in Black. Remember when, what number was he? Or what letter was he? One of them letters, it might have been letter M, knowing the white man for master. I'm just joking. But one of them, he told him, he said, come on with me. And he took him into a whole new dimension. And Will said, you mean to tell me the world don't know this exists? Well, this big banyan tree cannot emerge from nothingness. Only you cannot see the subtleness of the subtle somethingness. Life enabling self. So you enabled and manifested yourself and came to this earth. Study the character Superman and look at the upside down pyramid on his chest and the snake that you think that is a S. Oh, we're going to learn today. What's today? Sunday? Yeah, I figure it was. I'm going in kind of hard. I normally don't go in this hard unless it's Sunday because that's what I'm used to. I came from Catholic school and I rung bells on corners and all them things. Yeah, the big bell up in the chapel to the small bell behind the pastor on the altar. And then once service is over, I got to go in the dark with the playing of the organ and put the candles out. Oh, I used to love that part. I got an organ. I play the organ because my favorite, I call her a witch. She was a witch to me. Yeah. I'm the acolyte and I'm supposed to be always the first one in church service. How come the lady that plays the organ is there first? And then it's spooky. I couldn't find her, but the organ was playing. That was spooky to me. We got to remember, I'm only 3, 4, and 5 years old, people. That organ is like a vital instrument that they play on the heart string note. That's why it's called an organ. Because your body has organs, right? You have an organ. Well, oh, it's so mathematical. You see how we've been in existence and somebody been controlling us all along. But this is why I'm here to tell you, you can take back your you can gain your sovereignty. You could take back your birth certificate. In closing, and I mean it this time for real, it is self that resides inside the seed from which has sprung forth this enormous tree. That invisible power pervades everywhere and everything. It is all of existence. It appears as nothing to you since it is subtle. So your senses, this limited body meat suit that I call, it's limited. I be downloading information upon this thing. Sometimes I'll be glitching because it's too, this body's not ready for this yet. That's what they mean when they say people before their time. What they're actually indicating is that they're reaching and stretching like Sanchez and us. You know, we too far off already, too much. Don't self-combust. Oh, I got to tell you. Oh, yeah. You don't want to self-combust. But I keep that on the DL because that's too much power. Power can destroy people. It has, it will, and I know this. I know the remedy to curb the amount of electricity that you're intaking, which you call information, okay, and power. All this going to have to be learned when you're talking about you a god or a goddess. You see? When you start talking about that God shit, that supreme shit, God Almighty, oh yeah, you're going to have to back that up. Else you're going to have to shut it up. Else you'll get yourself in some trouble. That's why you have secret societies. They knew this. This information can't be at liberty to the monkeys out here. It appears as nothing to you since it is subtle, so your senses and mind cannot grasp it. But that does not mean self does not exist. And you see why Dick Gregory says truth don't need to be validated. Because I'm still going to carry on and exist in my thoughts, whether you can accept it or not. So believe me, my dear, states the man to his son, all that exists rises from self, which is the invisible but ultimate reality. You are that self. Each and every one of you, self-created, governed, and master. If it wasn't so, you would not have much complications as we are having just to have a joyous, peaceful, harmonious life. Why so much such a struggle? Yourself too is hidden like the intrinsic emptiness buried inside that seed. Since yourself is not material, okay? Under what's her name? Who sings the song? I'm a material girl living in a material world. Is that Cyndi Lauper? I forget which character sings that. But I hope you wasn't running around singing that. Because it was a setup. It was part of the psyop. I am. Who sung that? Cyndi Lauper. No, it wasn't Mariah Carey. Let me see something. In my chat, put it in there. Cyndi Lauper. Thank you, Lady Shay. Hey, Lady Shay, you must have been around for a while. Okay. You see how we connected? I look right when you put that up. That means you vibrating on a nice amount of frequency. That's no coincidence. That's not a mistake or mishap. If it is, we will have to accept that the whole existence that we're in, people, is a mistake when you have things going on in your life. I'll give you another example. You may ask your significant other. Okay, Lady Shay, that's right. You love music. Are you a Taurus? But check. Okay. So yeah, you know, we're not material beings, and this is what the world was, a Scorpio. Okay, much respect. I have a sister that's a Scorpio. You know, we are obviously, whether intent or not, with malice or not, there seems to be an ongoing system that wants to have me having dedication, trust, taking oath to something other than myself. And so, in closing, and we're gonna go get up out of here, and I appreciate Lady Shea Butter and I'm imagining that's Professor X. I see two people that's in the chat, and I appreciate the thumbs up for the video. All right, and I only appreciate that because it's something that it's an activity that shows me that out of anything that I said is something out of it that you're going to take that caused you to become a great person, you know. And I would like to see that happen, not only because I see y'all here and that it should be done so that I can have a good life, but for your family. When you see your family, see and hear you talk of a difference and produce, you see, they're going to admire that and want to follow suit. You don't even have to put much effort in the teaching or doing anything because your physical is going to shine. It's going to radiate the type of energy that you assert. Thank you, Lady Shea Butter. All right, so in closing, I'm going to read this straight on out. It's not much left, people. All right. Although I will come back and do further streaming out of this material because there's a lot here that she presents to us, and definitely we can weigh in on and use for personal growth. You know, for instance, there's a segment here where it states that you are the happiness that you seek. The misguided search outside, the illusion that conceals your true self. So she goes in with this, and y'all know how we do. We go in with it. So I'm gonna finish this up, and I look forward to seeing you, Lady Shea Butter, on other people podcasts, and definitely back in this one when I come through. All right. Thank you for the vibes, y'all, and definitely this is where I want to be. I'm not better than nobody. I'm not seeking to be on earth to be better than people or to show up to be or to go viral with any type of material. I really don't expect that. What I do though is just exempt a character that's other than the ugliness that we face. And that's important to me. I do it for myself. Not only do I do it for myself, I do it for y'all, my grandchildren, and my family. You see, it's probably been times when we existed and did so much in our life, or it didn't even have to necessarily be so much, but done things that has perhaps hurt someone, caused somebody to make a wrong decision. And of course we know that nobody's exempt from this. Don't try to say, "Oh no, it wasn't me. I didn't do that." I don't care whether if you offer somebody that don't smoke a cigarette, and they say, "Yeah, let me try that." But we're influencing. That's what peers do when growing up. We go home and we picked up characters from the other little kids that we adapted throughout the day. And then we get smacked in the head from our parents because they don't want you coming in like that. Right? So that meant right there, I was doing something wrong. I'm being a follower. I'm not paying attention to that which is supposed to be leading in myself. Lady Shea Butter states that knowledge to pass forward, pay it forward for the generation before current and soon to be. Check. And that's facts. I second that. That's right. I realized and found out when I do pay it forward, it comes back 10 times fold. I can give this book out, right? And out of nowhere, I have the incentive to have to go into a bookstore to only find that which is looking for me. Remember, I gave a book out, so everything you do has to come back, right? See how simple it is? It's that simple. If you feed somebody a fish, you ain't got to worry about being hungry. You'd have stepped into and been obedient in accord with the laws and the paradigms of the physics that governs this existence. You can call it what you want, manipulating it, the game or not. That's what's supposed to be done. Then you become a great manipulator then. So so self is pure consciousness, right? That emanates and livens the body and mind. And yet it continues to survive and exist even after the body ends. Just like an ocean continues to exist even if a wave ends. It is like how the substratum of clay continues to exist even if a pot fashioned from that clay breaks, or how electricity continues to exist even if the bulb breaks. If this is the first time you are encountering the teachings on soul as a pure consciousness, you may be surprised by the sheer boldness of this information, the vision, in recognizing what you are, that you are immortal, divine, and all powerful, and even blissful, and all the powers reside within you. If you really think about it, however, all the wonderful attributes you assign to your mind, and I like to throw into any other God outside yourself, all the praises, all the energy you give up to. I don't care if it's a crystal, and we know how powerful crystal can be. But I'm not going to worship the crystal. The crystal is there to empower me. It's a symbol, and because of its essence, it has a little bit more ability in its functioning for my benefit. But for the most part, it's just an object sitting there that is empowering me. Probably every time you walk by it, if you crystallize in your body, right? Right? So if you really think about it, however, all the wonderful attributes you assign to your mind, like intelligence, awareness, power, joy, wholeness, love, clarity, don't originate in the mind. The mind only appears intelligent because there is a super intelligent consciousness or self that's actually behind it. You use your mind, but you are not your mind, ego, or intellect. The body is beautiful, a vessel of sexual, physical, and vital strength. It can move, digest, even reproduce, and enjoy itself through its five senses in the world of sensorial delights. Yet, the source of life behind this living body is still the invisible you. Your habit, your body, but you inhabit your body. I'm sorry. All right? Are we clear? This is my avatar.
This is my meat suit, my spacesuit that I am utilizing for a period of time to have my experience with you. No more, no less. If I don't like the experience, let me change it. But nevertheless, I have to realize that I came here on my own accord and willingness. If I didn't, why would I say it? I don't care if nobody else on the planet don't agree with that. I'm still the one that still have to find out that no, Nate, Jesus created you and he's waiting for you. Don't think I'm waiting to see Jesus? I've been waiting, what, over 50 years. That's what they said. That's what, in fact, my great grandmama's still waiting for Jesus. They said that they was coming back. Them people that was in slavery in the 1700s. They died and Jesus didn't come back. Here he is in the 1900s. People were still waiting for Jesus' return. Passed away from the coronavirus. Jesus never showed up. You think I'm going to check out? I'm not that dumb. You think I'm going to leave here waiting for Jesus to return? What if I don't get a chance to see his return, his arrival? The pearly white gates coming on the beautiful horses with wings and an army, a chariot, an army of people behind him. I know it sounds ridiculous, but let me tell you the story. This is what they teach. God damn it. This is what they teach in Catholic school. They have you sitting in the auditorium. And a lot of black people don't know this. They don't know this until I tell them. And they look like, what? No, they think I'll be kidding. In the auditorium, they sat me in on a big screen film projector. I mean, like a type of movie theater, the projector. This is the school. They had I already knew what the movie theater was like because I already been in the Catholic schools. And they got the big film projector upstairs, all the way in the top floor in the back. And I used to go up there with the man that worked the camera. He used to tell me stuff, and then till the nun come and catch me and smack me all up with the roller and call my mom. Because I was always where I wasn't supposed to be. I had the whole goddamn school looking for me. Real talk. Y'all can look this history up, man. This is in Catholic school, I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how that went. Walk down the line, walk down the hallway in line from the smallest to the biggest. And I was the biggest. So that meant I was always at the end of the line. And the girls always went first, right? I'm Lady Shay, I'm just sharing you a little what went on in America, And y'all supposed to know this, real talk. Black people don't like to talk about those things, man. What they've been through in these people, places, and things. Professor X, peace. Okay, you still around? I thought that was you. Yeah, so in Catholic school, the girls got to go first. And I was the biggest one, the tallest one, so that put me at the end of the line. Now, my girlfriend was the biggest, tallest one. This one is the first time I got kicked out of it. Well, not kicked out, but what they call it, reprimand. I forget what they call it, but it got me a phone call to my parents, and I got a beat and with a extension cord. The extension cord. You know what I mean? But yeah, because what happened was when my girlfriend came through, and like I said, I'm holding the door. So as I'm holding the door, no, I'm sorry. The boys went through, and the last one was supposed to hold the door for the girls. That's right. So I'm holding the door. I'm the tallest one. And the girls got to come through, small to the biggest. And my girlfriend was the last one. Bang. She come through, and I pulls up her skirt. Now, the nuns, they wasn't in the front. They was in the back. So when she walked through, I do my little crazy act. The nun seen me. I was in trouble there. So I know I'm ramming on, but the moral is I didn't know how to act in those places. They put me in church. Like I said, I was a acolyte. I've been in the booth talking to the Father. And that's it, just talking to the Father. Okay. I know a lot of people heard about Colonel Doherty and all them Catholic schools in Philadelphia, but I can rest assure you, I made sure that we were only going to have conversation, or else I was going to go tell my parents. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So when it comes to stupidity, as you can see, I have low tolerance for it because it was brought on to me at an early age. So there should be no far-fetched idea of how the credibility of my spirit not touch anything in existence. You have to have credentials and receipts of what I've been through to be able to be of a spiritual healer or advisor or a guru or a sage or up in the mountains of Tahidra, Tibetan somewhere in one of those monasteries. So it states here, if this is the first time you are encountering the teachings on soul as pure consciousness, you may be surprised by the sheer boldness of this information. It says Vedic, and that's the type of culture she from. I'm not going to really get into much of it. That's a different language, but we pretty much going to break it down and putting it as just basic etiquettes of how to become supreme. That's all those words are. You know, they just have a different culture. Okay. So if you really think about it, however, all the wonderful attributes inside you to your wait a minute, what is that? If you really think about it, however, all the wonderful attributes you assign to your mind, like intelligence, awareness, power, joy, wholeness, love, and clarity, all that are ma'at. Y'all know what ma'at is, right? Balance, true balance, and harmony. Okay, don't get caught up with woman king. Don't get caught up in the psychology that they putting through. Let me make mention of that. Okay, because next we're gonna be coming out with man queen, and then it's really gonna be all confusing and fucked up. Just let this go on in the world. What must go on? Just know that you don't have to come back here no more. Not at least to this type of paradigm. It makes sense. You don't have to go back. Once you get your driver's license, do you ever go back and learn how to drive again? No. Time out here on the road got you experience. I drove for a living, taxi cab and limo. The more time out there on the road, the more better jobs I can get because they figured that that's experience. He obviously knows what he's doing. Same thing in life. You don't need to come back to Earth no more to learn your goddamn ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and that Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, and that we live in a corporation. That'd be dumb. Damn, you mean to tell me I got to come back all over again and talk to y'all again all about this same thing of how to be God? I don't think so, people. I think there's a greater place for us. Huh? And as one thinketh, so shall it's going to be. Check. Not so shall it be or all that old crazy shit. No. My mind is what it is. I am mine, mine is me. I am the real. That all of what I say and exists. Right? Either like it, love it, or just simply leave it alone. That's what I do. I either love you or I just leave you alone. Either way, we're going to be fine. The mind only appears intelligent because there is a super intelligent consciousness behind it, which is you. The self is self-illuminous, self-revealing, and self-evident. and endows the mind with existence, powers, and function. Not the opposite. You are indeed pure consciousness, sinless, sparkling, ageless. Stop thinking that you're going to die. I'm going to die. Ain't that something? What if you would die? What if you could die? That would be an awful shame. Don't you know that you would be a vital part of existence that will be truly missed? You can't die. What would the world be without you? I think Farrakhan said it best. And I'm not a Farrakhan follower. I don't follow nobody but Nate the Great. But he said that if the black people were ever destroyed, the universe will implode and life will start anew. I heard him say that out of his mouth. In regard to what he represent, what he do, he said if you don't like black people, just look at me then. That's what I did. You know me. I'm not too concerned about all the people. Black people, white people, Chinese people, no people. I'm more concerned about me. That way I could show you how to be good too. And then that way I could love both me and you. But when he said that, I said, damn, if I was destroyed, that means my life will implode. The existence of what I am, not explode now, like a vacuum, implode. Maybe this is where they get the Big Bang Theory from. And life will start anew, people. Though in ordinary parlance, we say we must awaken to who we are as if self were a goal to be reached. No more than you got the people talking about they come here to get rich. They want to come here. You came to earth to get a good job, just over broke, a job, right? Because if you don't get paid next week, you know it's going to be a problem. Tell the truth. 98% of us, we need that check week to week. So you got a job, we're pretty much just over broke. If you got a business, then it might be life might be a little bit easier for you. But we didn't come to earth so that you could get a good job doing Uber, working for Walmart, Lyft, or delivering food for Grubhub. Talking about I want to get rich. Looking for a savings in the 2K plan. How about, what if I told you came here rich? What if I told you came here rich already and you let somebody dictate and convince you and rob you from your riches? Didn't it happen on the physical plane? Talk light to me. And as we say, what happens below must have happened above. So obviously I was spiritually robbed before I was ever physically robbed in Egypt. It is written that people came from all over the world to take from up out of Egypt. Much like you see in the hood, a gold store or the cigarettes or the drugstore. They come from all over the city and they run up in that place. Take everything out of there. You are already that beautiful, blissful, powerful, and eternal whole presence. You don't have to become anything. You're not here to do anything but what you will. Look it up. It's in the book of law. Yes, the book of law. Do what thy will. But they don't want you to know that. They want to keep you in formality. They want you to keep worshiping Jesus Christ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever that means. No, jokes. I used to know what it mean. I forgot. But that's what I used to always hear and say when I was in my Islamic state of existence. And like I said, we got to stop looking for ourselves all outside of ourselves, because that's all I was doing. You don't have to become anything new. All you got to do is just brushing up on what you already are. You simply must remember who you are. Upon the rediscovering or reclaiming the forgotten self, not the land. Don't worry about too much land. Because remember, if the land was stolen, there was something stolen before that you got to get back before you get the land back. And as I state, you master the spiritual realm, the physical will, like Professor X, unfold as you will with ease. And can't nobody walk that path but you. Remember, Wolverine wanted to go in first. What did Professor X do? He said, "Oh, stop. You can't go in there because the floor wouldn't unfold. This is not your path. Only I can walk this path. I could take your advice. You could give me good sound advice. But I got to make the choice and see how it's going to weigh in favoritism for me. Because what's making your boat sail may not make mine sail. You see? You talking about pull out your knife when you fighting the war and they pulling them guns out on you. No. I got to pull guns out too. I got to at least match their frequency. You see? Because your war only consists of spears and bow and arrows and knives. Mine's, they got canyons, AK-47s, semi-automatic weapons, 12 gauges and things of that nature. C4. So I'm going to have to match that frequency. I would like to be in your shoes. Shit. When you can stand back and throw rocks at each other from you know, they used to do in Africa, they used to throw rocks. No. Everybody's different. So upon rediscovering and reclaiming the forgotten self, a deep sense of belonging, purpose, and well-being takes over. This self is called, according to her, the Atman. And I like that, the Atman, Atman. A Sanskrit word meaning that which is boundless. Your true self, the Vedas say, is boundless existence, unchanging, consciousness, abiding bliss. It shines. It says unchanging here. I get the picture, but rest assured, you can change if you so will. You become like Bruce Lee said. You be like water. Okay? So we get the picture, though, what she's stating. You shine, it shines as the eternal light within your heart. In fact, your mind depends on the boundless self for its intelligent awareness, and the body depends on it for life, as it is self that makes the body sentient. You are the self. You are the eternal. You are unchanging unless you decide to change for yourself and within yourself. You are ever pure unless you decide to become impure. And that's what they mean. You got the free will. You got the choice. Can't nobody condemn you but you. Your own self-accusing spirit. Not no mystery God, not the sky daddy, not your mother, not your father, not me. No godfather, no pastor. You got to make the choice You got to make the decisions in this on this journey that you're in. You came here by yourself. You're going to leave here by yourself. The self does not age, no matter what the age of the body. So stop counting the body ages. Every time somebody asks you or even tell you, see, it's getting to the point with me, they got to come tell me it's my birthday because they know I don't count no goddamn birthday. So it's going to vary as you grow in your degrees of powerfulness and your supremacy. Satan going to never stop coming to you, so says the religious people, and it's true. Because that's what I figured out the earth is about. Dealing with the negative forces while reigning supreme, having my experience, not letting you, it fuck up my trip, my experiences. This is a trip. I'm on a trip. Anytime you come into a meat suit, you gotta remember, first of all, it's dumb. Why would I out of the suit? I'm unlimited. In the meat suit, I'm limited. This is why people like to go to bed early and sleep all the time, because they dream. They don't want to be really here. They don't really like dealing with the bullshit that goes on here on earth. So they'd rather go to bed early and sleep a lot. Get a good night nap. They'll sleep in between sleeps. Just so they can get away from the bullshit that's going on earth. I know it. Because I understand what's taking place and what it is. So stop. They'll tell you, oh, you know today is your birthday. Oh, God, why you remind me? You can't count birthdays. If you count birthdays, there's got to be an ultimate end and when your birthday is coming. Why would you do that to yourself? What do you think you're going to have 275 birthdays? When you're counting like that, you're looking at some type of ending, some demise. Nobody has ever reached 500. So that means once I get 60 and 70, I got to start looking at what? The downside of life? Talk light to me. What future is it in for somebody who's looking at life as opposed that this is who I am or what I am, and I'm aging and soon to come to a cease? I don't want to live like that. That's scary. No, in my mind, I'm in my 50s. Like, leave it up to y'all. I only got about 30 left. That's only going to be a good 80 something, huh? And a lot of people are not making it by that. You see that? So that's where it becomes more detrimental on weighing in on the heart. So that's why I say stop counting. Find out the time when you want to leave. There's a time when you came and a date. So there's obviously a time when you're going to leave. I just forgot. And I fell out of the order as to how I'm supposed to be functioning and having my preparation for my transcendence. That's what it is. I'm not dying. I'm here having experience. I got it all set up. Oh, yes, I do. You see? But what happened when Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall and had the great fall, he forgot why he was here. Remember Humpty Dumpty? What happened to Humpty Dumpty when he fell and hit the ground? It was an egg, and the egg is the beginning of life. It cracked open. So when it cracked open, that's it. All consciousness went everywhere. There's no stability. It's almost like you got to relearn how to talk and walk all over again. Huh? So the self does not age. No matter what the age of the body. Self is never tired. Ain't that what it say in the Quran? Come on now. It says God don't sleep. He ain't tired. He don't eat. That sound like you. Unless you was looking at the person in the mirror. No, that can't be you. That gotta eat, buddy. You're going to have to lay that down and not sleep. But you should rejuvenate it from all of its all-day experience of working or moving out. See, the physical is limited. You aren't. Anything that doesn't last forever has a ending, okay, an end date, like milk or dairy products or something you stick in the refrigerator. It got should be used by date. It's not good. It's not real. It's not authentic. That which is real don't end. Check. Self is never tired, confused, or lost, even if your mind is tired, worried, and confused. Self is forever the possessor of complete wisdom and bliss, even if your mind is clouded temporarily or your happiness feels blocked. You're associating yourself with the wrong elements and aspects of existence, people. That's all we saying here. Seemingly by default, okay, we are disconnected from our own inner spiritual dimensions and live submerged in the outer material world as material bodies. Ain't that what she said? I am a material girl living in a material world with material names and material addresses, and joining our material objects, people and things that we possess and covet. This is the root cause of human suffering. Deep down in your mind, masked by your thoughts, lies your implicit identification with the infinite. All right? I think I've said enough. I want to give much respect, bow, salutations, respect to Professor X and Lady Shea Butter. Okay? May everything that you do and touch turn to gold. You have my well wishes with you. I can't never forget y'all. So that's a plus right there. Anytime you got beings in the world that can't forget you and think about you living good and doing good, that's a plus, people. That's like an extra battery that you got down here that's empowering you. Trust me, I know. This is what prayer is all about. You ever hear your grandmom and your mom and them say, son, I'm praying for you. And you out there, you doing your thing and you know what you're doing wrong. But deep down inside, you know you got mom praying for me. So I can go ahead and go out there and do what I want to do. Even though despite that, it's maybe against someone else's will. I'm not going to say it's wrong. But you got that positive energy of someone with you. Oh, yes, you do. The religious people say it all the time. You got the angel on one shoulder and another one on the other one, and whatever. All that is, we're talking about dealing in the etheric realm, harnessing and controlling energy. Check. So I'm out of here. I want to appreciate all my moderators, those who actually view this, whether aboard or from abroad, under the radar or over the radar. I hope that you've got something informative out what we've brought to the table, what we've brought to the table. Check. Take care of yourself and make sure you do it on purpose, people. Peace. I'm out.